Wizard Liz takes the Oxford stage, joining a debate on how women's bodies are being turned into money-making machines. And her take suggests that the use of women's bodies for profit haven't gone too far, and if anything, women are not using this enough. She's also going head to head with her Reddit opponents too, because clearly all that backlash she previously received, it's just jealousy of her success. There's a lot to break down here, so let's get to it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I just noticed a lot of you enjoy my content still haven't hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy my takes and feel like tossing some support my way, please click that subscribe button. Wizard Liz, a popular self-help figure who promotes self-love and often speaks about dating wealthy men for financial benefit, have joined an Oxford debate which will be on the subject of the commodification of women's bodies, which is meant to explore the ethical, cultural, and economic commodification of women's bodies, from fashion to social media advertising, where women's bodies and beauty are commonly used as a way to make money. Wizard Liz is debating in opposition, meaning she doesn't think that the commodification of women's bodies have gone too far, but even suggesting that women have not used their sexuality to their advantage enough.
The Wizard Liz is going to be doing a talk tomorrow at the Oxford Union about whether the commodification of women's bodies has gone too far. And you guys know I love her, but she is on the opposing side. Please, I can't keep defending this.
Before we jump into the arguments, let's explore who the speakers are. In a proposition camp, or simply put, the side that believes that women's bodies have been commodified to the extreme, we've got Liana Deeb and Cameron Russell. Deeb is a content creator who studied at Texas University, but she has admitted she gave up her college as her content creation journey exploded. Cameron Russell is also quite active on social media, as she is an American supermodel and an activist. Due to her experience within the fashion industry, she often advocates for sustainable fashion as well as workers' rights. As a previous Victoria's Secret model, Cameron often spoke about her experiences within the industry, often being objectified and by adults at a young age of 16. She also stated that women in her industry were praised for being willing to do anything, and to get ahead, make money, or make the career for herself, she had to learn to make herself agreeable and tolerate behavior that often made her feel uncomfortable. In the opposition team, we've got Wizard Liz, a YouTuber and social media self-help coach, which by now we know very well, and if you don't, I've got you. And we've got Dana Thomas, who is a fashion journalist and argues that the commodification of women isn't a form of exploitation and that she sees beauty as empowerment, citing many fashion designers.
As a woman, your looks are an investment for the opportunities that come your way, the people that you attract in this lifetime, the things that you want to do, and so much more.
Some people are saying Wizard Liz was brought in to replace Mia Khalifa, who, if you don't know, is a former adult film star and webcam model. Mia left the industry because she felt pressured into scenes that exploited her Arab background, which she said made her really uncomfortable. Now, the whole debate isn't out yet, however, some clips of Wizard Liz's arguments have already started circulating around the internet. In one of the clips, Wizard Liz has addressed people who talk about her online and allegedly accuse her of being a sex worker, suggesting that if she was a man with 8 million subscribers, no one would question where she got the money from, but because she's a woman, people are questioning it.
I'm on YouTube with 8 million subscribers. I was signed and I started making money from YouTube 4 years ago. After my first video immediately went viral. I have around 20 million followers on my other social media platforms that I also make money from. If this was a man with that many followers, no one would question where his money came from. But because I'm a successful woman that built myself up from zero, people have to credit my success to a man.
There has been quite a lot of speculation on how she got the money to live the luxurious lifestyle, but the speculation isn't really there because she's a woman as she's claiming, but because on her own videos she clearly admits to dating wealthy men and millionaires at only 19 years old. She also openly admits and supports women taking money from men and men paying for their lifestyle.
If you have a man that's constantly showing off how much wealth he has to you or how much he has, ask him to transfer it to you. One time I had this guy that was trying to date me, and constantly he would send me DMs in a private jet holding so much cash, like whatever, until a point that I literally told him, instead of showing me videos of you having cash, send the cash to me. Deposit me the money.
Just because the criticism feels uncomfortable doesn't mean it's invalid, and it can't just be dismissed as haters gonna hate or they just jealous. Many people are making valid points about the kind of lifestyle and behavior Wizard Liz promotes. On her channel, she often coaches women to get money from men, which is very similar to the approach of other influencers like Shira7, who is very straightforward and calls it what it is: gold digging or being a sugar baby. Of course, being a sugar baby isn't the same as work, and that's true, but when you're offering your time, attention, and sometimes even your body in exchange for money, the line between them becomes very blurred. Given that Liz influences millions of women, especially younger, impressionable ones, this is a serious issue that shouldn't be brushed off as mere hate. Suggesting that all the criticism is just people spreading lies is really just a way of silencing valid concerns about her message and avoiding any real accountability. In one of Wizard Liz's videos, she states that men are not shy and they are going to ask you to take your clothes off in 2 seconds, therefore you shouldn't be shy to say, give me money.
Don't be afraid to ask men for things. Like, men are literally not afraid to ask us for anything. They will ask you to take your clothes off in 2 seconds, so it doesn't matter. Ask them, give me money.
Statements like these are also the reason people question her past. Being surrounded by men who would ask you to take your clothes off in 2 seconds suggests that the quality of man that Wizard Liz surrounds herself with is not the best. A self-respecting man wouldn't ask a self-respecting woman to take her clothes off in 2 seconds after meeting her. The only type of man that would ask for such things are men who have no respect to the woman they are with and no respect to themselves. And as a self-respecting woman, hearing something like this coming from a man would make a woman simply walk away and never again talk to a man with such loud intention, rather than entertaining this kind of behavior and replying to it by stating, give me money. Now, in another clip, Wizard Liz states that men should pay for their lust and that women should use the patriarchy against them by making them pay for wanting to be with a woman, explaining that if they are going to pay for it, women will become rich, and with money comes power, so because women will be wealthy and powerful, it will force men to change and they will start having more respect and listen to women, as they don't really want to see women in power.
When we put the barrier of money and make them pay for sex, that's going to happen regardless. They will be forced into change. They will not want to see women in power, so they will have to do things differently. And for the first time, they will have to deal with the consequences of their own actions. Use the patriarchy and their system against them. Make them pay for their lust. Money is power. People will listen to women with a lot of money because unfortunately that is all this capitalistic society cares about.
If you are equally confused by this statement, welcome to the club. So let's break it down. The first claim is that men should pay for their lust, where she's arguing that men's desire should come with a financial cost. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but that idea is essentially the entire premise of the adult industry and work. Men pay money in exchange for access to women's bodies, time, or attention. The second claim is that women should use the patriarchy against men, suggesting that women can leverage a male-dominated system by making men pay for access to them. But this also means participating in a very system that treats women as commodities in the first place. It's an attempt to flip the power dynamic without actually changing the underlying problem. Women are still being valued valued for their sexuality, just with a higher price tag. The next claim is that if men pay for their desire, women will become rich. This is the idea that this financial exchange will make women wealthier, which we can see in real life is not necessarily true. As Wizard Liz suggests herself, she made majority of her money from social media platforms. The next claim is that men will respect women more once they see them as wealthy and powerful. However, that has been proven wrong many times. Some adult industry workers such as Mia Khalifa, even though wealthy and powerful, often come under scrutiny and are often disrespected by men, which shows that having money alone is not ultimate key to being respected. Another claim is that men don't want to see women in power. She's suggesting that men actively fear or oppose women's empowerment, implying that they feel threatened by women gaining authority or influence. However, this paints all men with the same broad brush and overlooks that there are many men who support women's success. Even looking at many fathers alone who often cheer on their daughters, support and celebrate their successes, and want to actually see them having good jobs, careers, and even being in power. Honestly, considering all of that, Wizard Liz probably shouldn't have jumped into this debate. Her arguments make it sound like women can just fix things by using the same system that treats them like products, and that doesn't really solve the real issue. By telling women to make men pay, she's keeping the focus on money and looks instead of pushing for real change.